Welcome everyone to Oxygen Not Included. My name is Rainer and today I'm starting a brand new series. I already did a series. I did 3 episodes of this about a year ago and it never really got off the ground and I want to give it another try. I just like this game a lot. I also play it in my free time. I also watch videos of other people. It's just a really cool game. What you basically do is you have these duplicants, these cute little guys and girls that you don't directly control, but you give tasks to mine out stuff or do other stuff. You control gases, liquids, you do so many things in this game. I cannot even explain it all. You have power that you need to generate, but most importantly, that's where the name is coming from, you have to generate oxygen for these duplicants to live. So they breathe in oxygen, they breathe out carbon dioxide. So you have to make sure that they live and they live comfortably. In this playthrough, I want to make a base that is as optimized as I can get it. So I want to make it as perfect as I can get it. Automating as much as possible, because you also have automation. You can see a switch here, for example, and this looks like an AND gate. Yeah, this is an AND gate. You have all kinds of automation as well, so your duplicants, these small dudes, do not have to do things manually. You see here this duplicant is filling this coal generator with coal. You can also let a robot arm do this, for example. But yeah, I will get into all of the details while I'm going, because once again, there's so much in this game to take into account. There are some tricky things that you can, where you can trick the game, and I will be using some of those. And some people might like that, some people might not, but yeah. Let's start a new game. We're going to do survival. And you can pick here an asteroid. They all have different statistics, but for this playthrough, and if this takes off, I will do more. We're just gonna take the main asteroid, and I'm going to re-roll the seed a couple times. So this is random. This seed determines what your asteroid looks like, where everything is located. So if you want to play along, play the same asteroid. If you also have this game, you can use this seed and then you will have the same area. So let's start this game. So you start off the game with 3 duplicants, which you can re-roll as many times as you want. You can also select a main task that they can do, and there's many tasks. You can have builders, you can have cookers, decorators, you can have diggers, doctors, farmers, operators, ranchers, researchers, everything here. There's a lot. And picking a job determines what kind of statistics that these guys have, and also what kind of typically what kind of interest they have. Well, always what kind of, and having an interest will make it easy to learn new stuff. They basically like, this one likes building and doctoring. So if I train him in building and doctoring, make him better, make him do more advanced tasks, then he won't mind that much, because there's also something like morale in this thing. These duplicants also need to be happy, otherwise they will get a stress reaction. They will get their stress high, and if they reach a certain level of stress, this one will start crying. They can also be happy, so if their morale is very high and their stress is low, and then they will have an overjoyed response. So they also have traits. Most often it's 1 positive trait and 1 negative trait. The positive trait can be really powerful. We can look into a couple. And you also have a negative trait here. For example, this dupe cannot do researching, and that's not really a problem. So let's re-roll this a couple times so you can see night owl. So this dupe, when he's working at night, he will get +3 to all attributes at night, and night is 3 of the, I think, 24 icon, so that's not bad. His negative trait is that he's a little bit slower on the toilet, because they also have to poop and pee. This one has increased machinery, but can do cooking, etc, etc. Food morale bonus, so this one is happier with certain foods. Cannot get food poisoning, so you also have germs in this game, and this dupe cannot get food poisoning, so if they go to the toilet they get food poisoning on them, they have to wash themselves, or they wash their hands at least, to get rid of that food poisoning. If they don't do that and then they eat, then the food will get food poisoning and then they can get sick. So yeah, we can do this a lot, but I will not go through all of this re-rolling with you guys. I will do that alone, so I will skip. What I want to have at the start of the game is one digger. I want to have another digger, so 2 diggers actually, and I want to have a research, because we're going to do, at the start of the game, I'm going to do a lot of researching. Also, I want to maximize these diggers. They're going to be super specialized in digging, so they will have 7 excavation at least, and this one has to have 7 science. And then I'm going to reroll a little bit for these traits to get the thing that I want. So I'll be back. So here we are back with the duplicants that we're going to start this playthrough with. We have 2 diggers, as I said, and 1 researcher. They both have maximum digging, because that's all they're going to do, and that's how we're going to get most of our resources. And 1 duplicant is going to be fully focused on science. As for the positive traits, I'm going for the mole hands, because this gives them even more excavation, so they will be even better digger. And for researching, I'm really focused on the quick learner. I want to have as much research, as much science as possible. As for the negative traits, it's okay to have basically anything. If it's, well, there are a couple that you really don't want, like narcoleptic. That's one that the duplicant falls asleep. Sometimes you don't want to have a weak duplicant, so you don't want to have that negative trait. You don't want to have a negative trait where your duplicant farts, because they will spread gases in your base that you have to deal with, which is not nice. Yeah, there are a couple that you really don't want, so I try to avoid them. So with a little bit of re-rolling, we got to this. We also have stress reactions. Doesn't matter too much what this is, because they shouldn't be too stressed out. So they do this whenever their stress level is too low, and that's when I will explain this exactly later how this comes, but when they're not in a good mood, and that can be because of different reasons. And this is the opposite when they're overjoyed. We're going to call the name. We're going to name the colony the perfect laboratory, because, as I said, we want to make this the perfect base. We're going to make everything as good as possible. But yeah, that's going to be long-term goal. So let's start. And here we are. Woken at a target location, but colonization efforts have already hit a hitch. I was supposed to land on the planet's surface, but became trapped many miles underground instead. Although the conditions are not ideal, it's imperative that I establish a colony here and begin mounting efforts to escape. So, in the long term, we're trying to actually... Well, we're not trying to escape, but we are going to, at some point, use rockets to fly to other asteroids. We're on an asteroid, we're somewhere in the middle, I guess, of the asteroid. You can dig up and down, you can also dig to the side. These duplicants can dig stuff, and by that dig up materials. And there's all kinds of different materials. You have sandstone, you have algae for producing oxygen. We have copper ore for all the metal buildings. You have coal, which you can burn, of course. You also have, if you go a little bit further out, granite, igneous rock, We also have sedimentary rock here, probably somewhere. Cannot find it real quick now, but there's a lot of different materials. This is definitely not everything. This is our starting biome, which is the easy part because you still have to build up, you have to start up. And if you go outwards, you will see that the biomes get more and more extreme. We can also see that in a couple of overlays. We have an oxygen overlay. So if the image is light blue, it means we have a lot of oxygen here. It's very breathable. If it's a little bit purplish, then it means we have less oxygen, but it's still breathable. And if it's more towards the red, then you cannot breathe this at all. So your duplicants cannot breathe carbon dioxide. That's very unhealthy. That's actually what they breathe out. So the duplicants, they will breathe in oxygen and they will breathe out carbon dioxide. So we also have a power overlay, but we don't have power cables yet. We're going to get there later on. Temperature. So this is a big factor. We see that we have a big area of green. Green is temperate. So this is the optimal temperature for plants that you can plant. If you get to yellow, orange, red, you see that this gets a little bit warmer, but this is still okay. And if you go down to the blue colors, you will see that this is getting a little bit cold actually. We see that it's a little bit hotter here, but actually our surroundings, our direct surroundings are very temperate. So that's very nice. Let's see the materials. Here you can see a lot of the materials. You can see the metals, you can see the minerals, filtration, this is sand. This is stuff that the coal, for example, and your oxalite. Oxalite will be responsible for your first oxygen generation. Oxalite, without having to do anything, will emit oxygen and slowly disappear. So this 185 kilograms will slowly dissipate into pure oxygen, which your duplicants can breathe. Which is, well, we don't have any oxygen production, so it's quite necessary at the moment. Let's see, that was materials. Then we have light. Light is important for plants to grow. It's important for decor, and also if a duplicant is working in light, it's a little bit more productive. So that's also very nice. But yeah, light is not super imperative. Plumbing, we don't have any plumbing just yet, so I'll cover that later on. Also, ventilation, we don't work with gases yet, so we don't pump that around yet, so we'll get to that later as well. Decor, so the nicer the decor, the more happy duplicants are. You can see here this light is providing some positive decor, and if you get to more reddish colors, and this is just 0, but it can go to very dark red, as you can see here, then your duplicants will be less happy. So green makes them more happy, red makes them less happy. Then we have germs. We see we have some slime lung here, we have some germs here as well, but in general in our starting biome we won't have a lot of germs, so we don't have to deal with that early. We have different types of germs, but I'll cover that later. Floral scent actually is not a bad germ. This is just nice odor that you get, but some duplicants can be allergic to this. Then also farming, we have plants in here which we can farm. We can see how far they are grown, and we can harvest them or maybe even grow them ourselves. We'll get to that later as well. And then we have rooms. We don't have any rooms yet, but here you can see a list of all the rooms you can make. And typically these rooms will grant you somewhere else. So if you have a working toilet with a wash station, so here you can see no industrial machinery, you will get an additional +1 morale. And morale is important for the whole stress stuff. But yeah, I'll cover that later as well. Let's take this away. And now we start on digging. Typically we start by digging to the left and the right. I want to look where I want to dig down, and I think here is a nice spot. I want to avoid the water, but I want to make a place where I can make a ladder all the way down and all the way up. often people say you shouldn't make one long ladder, but that's what I like anyway. So we have some foreign structures here still. Some more algae. We have slime here, which is germs. So I don't think I want to go to the left of this water pocket. So I think I'm going to make my ladder through the middle here. I don't want to be too close to the water because the water can push away the sand. So sand is not stable, it's very soft, and water will push through it. Same for fertilizer, if I'm not mistaken. It will be pushed aside, so we want to be a little bit away from that. And I want to make my vertical tunnels 3 wide to accommodate some airflow. But yeah, we cannot make anything right now anyway because we don't have any materials. So we cannot build anything. Everything is grayed out. And in order to start being able to make stuff, we have to dig. And we can just give our duplicants assignments. We can do that by setting dig errands. But before we do that, actually, I want to look into my skills and see this one is 10 excavation, 10 excavation, and 10 science. Because sometimes these stats do not end up the way they should be, weirdly enough. But yeah, we're going to dig a little bit to the left. We're also going to dig a little bit to the right. There is a lot of carbon dioxide to the right there, actually. Let me see, how much is this? 1 kilogram each. I guess we're going to dig down anyway. So carbon dioxide is a heavy gas and oxygen is lighter. And the gases here will actually flow to the place where they should flow. So carbon dioxide will flow to the bottom. And we're going to dig into here. I'm also going to dig up some plants here. Shine bug could be a little bit annoying at the start, but yeah, let's just unpause and here we go. So yeah, now we have some materials. They dropped on the floor. We have 3,101 kilograms of raw material at the moment, and that's sandstone, which you find in the starting biome. And we can use sandstone to build stuff. So as I said, I want to build our first ladder, which is going to from bottom to top here. I want to be able to access some water because we're going to need it for our toilets. So I'm going to go down here. I'm also going to dig around it. So, in order to let the carbon dioxide drop into here, or maybe I will make a gap here as well so it can go into here, we'll see. But yeah, this is where our gap is going to be, and we're also going to make some tiles because I like to tile stuff up. Yeah, so that's all our sandstone. Let's dig out some more so we can build some more. What we also want to do is our duplicants will want to use, well, they have to go to the toilet at some point. And that's going to be at the start, no, at the end of this cycle, I think. So we want to make them some toilets. I'm going to leave a little bit of space. So we're going to make the toilet there and there. And then when duplicants use the toilet, they will have food poisoning on their hands. And that needs to be washed away. So in order to do that, we make wash basins. And I'm going to make 2 as well. So that they, if you have 2 duplicants in here, they will be able to use the wash basin. And then we're also going to make this into a room. Let's see. I'm going to start like this. We want to make all our rooms 4 high because 4 high is which 4 high supports most of the buildings in this game, so 4 high is very safe. Let's dig a little bit more out on this side. And then I'm going to close this off here as well for now. We're going to also enclose this indoors. I need a little bit more metal ore. Or maybe we don't even need, yeah, I want to make a metal door here. And then on the other side, we want to make somewhere a bedroom. Let me see, I have 4 out here. Let's make this also 4. So we want 2 tiles more. Then we're going to have another tunnel, I think. And then we start from here with our room on this side. Yeah, we don't have to make this right now. This will be a room anyway. And then we're going to make some beds here, because our duplicants also want to sleep in a bed. Otherwise they sleep on the floor, and that's not good for their backs. And then they will get a debuff. They'll be less productive the next day, so we want to prevent that. Let me see, we can skip these for now. Skip some of the work. Want to dig out this. And I want to keep this as is right now. I don't want to make a second tunnel just yet. It's not necessary. Also, so we have, as I said, morale. Here you can see how much morale a duplicant has. They all have 2 morale at the moment. And they're using 0 morale at the moment because they don't have any skills yet. And once you train duplicants in certain skills, they will need more morale, but they also will be able to do more tasks. We don't have any points just yet here, so this is not too important. We'll get into that later on. We also have priorities. This is more important. So we have our 2 diggers, which I want to prioritize digging and building actually. And I want our researcher to prioritize researching and not do digging and building. We want none of the others to do researching anyway. As for cooking, nobody does that here. Actually, I wanted this to set to nobody also. And then this goes back to high. Let's see. Doctoring is also a specialized task. Ranching is specialized. And farming also. I don't want duplicants to do stuff willy-nilly. I want to control who does what. So we're going to do it like this. Actually, 1 is enough. And the rest is fine. Also, this is a little bit of a hidden option. We want to enable proximity, which means that duplicants will do tasks that are close to them before they do tasks which are far away. So they will have less movement time. Did I set it? Yes, I did. Then our schedule, also important. Here we can set which duplicants do what when. And this is important because we don't have unlimited facilities. We will have less facilities than duplicants. So we want them to sleep and go to the bathroom in different times. We want also to give them bedtime. So let's set this one to here. And then we set this one here. This should be fine. Bath time at the moment is not necessary just yet. And then we will move people in the next cycle, I guess. We can just go here. All right, let's build the stuff. In the meantime, while these duplicates are building, we can also set up some location where we can pick up water. We can pick up water using a pitcher pump. So we're going to set that up here. Should be fine. And then we also need to dig our way towards that so they can actually pick up the water. All right. So right now we're still getting our oxygen from oxalite. You can see that this is all nicely light blue. We're going to get a bit of carbon dioxide from there at some point. But yeah, should be fine. $15 tons of sandstone and 750 kilograms of copper. And algae is important because we're going to use algae as soon as our oxalite is gone and we don't have any oxygen naturally. So slowly we're going to see more and more of the map. I want to look at the temperatures. From what I can see, this water is a little bit warm, 40 degrees. but most of our area is very, very nicely tempered. Obsidian, neutronium, okay. So here, if you see neutronium, that typically means that there's some kind of vent here that's hidden, because neutronium is, the density is immeasurable, or the weight is immeasurable, and the temperature is not applicable. So this is very special. Ooh, we have another one here. Wow. There's actually a trick to see what's underneath here. It's a little bit cheaty, but we're going to do that anyway, because I want to know what this is. A hot polluted oxygen vent. Wow. A polluted oxygen vent. Okay, interesting. Let's set that back, and then I want to know what this is. Carbon dioxide vent. Interesting. So we're not gonna use that very early on, carbon dioxide, but at some point it might be interesting to use. Typically these are easier to see. Interesting. I even have oxalite here. Interesting. Alright, so these are still going. We can see our carbon dioxide slowly moving in. The duplicants have to hold their breath in carbon dioxide. And here you can see our first wash basin is ready. It has an arrow to the left and an arrow to the right, which means that if a duplicant walks from the left to the right past it, it will wash its hands. And also when it comes back, it will also wash its hands. Why do we have, holy crap, why do we have water here? Okay, that was not very good. Let's cancel this. And then make use of our priorities here. Let's set this to priority 7, so they will do this first. Because we don't want this water in here. I guess we had some water here and it broke through some sand or fertilizer here. Yeah, small accident happened here. But yeah, we want to prevent this from flooding our whole starting point. So yeah, luckily we have some coal here as well, and it's still pretty far away, so the pressure here is not that high, so this is still fine. Oh, we also have our first hatch here. Hatches are one kind of critter that we have in this game. Hatches eat stuff that's on the ground, and they will excrete half of the mass that they ate in coal. So they can be very useful to work with coal power plants. So if you have a coal generator that generates power from coal, you can use hatches to replenish your coal. Because we don't want these hatches to eat the stuff that's on the floor, we will set this to 7, so that whenever we find something edible on the floor, it's immediately transferred there, because they will not eat from this ration box. Alright, let's close this off. And we already have some water here. Let's see if we can mop this up. A little bit annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so I was explaining these arrows. So with the arrow to the left and the right, they will wash their hands in both directions. But we only want them to wash their hands when they come from the toilet. So we can set this direction to the left only. And so they will only, yeah, wash their hands when they go that way. And therefore save some water. Interesting, no water went through. But yeah, this is not a super big issue. They will get a little bit of wet feet, but it's not gonna be a super big issue. Anyway, these plants are all underwater. They're drowning. Is that a problem? I guess it's not. Well, let's actually go up here. We'll have to go up there anyway at some point. So what I'm doing here actually is, if you select something, I have a selection, you can press the B button to copy that building. So if I want to make another wash basin, I can select it, press B, and then I can place another wash basin wherever I want it. This is a very good shortcut to build stuff. So I use that quite a bit. Okay, so the water here is all mopped up. We also want to mop it up here. I guess they're digging too much. Can we do this first, guys? Okay. Please. That also means... Oh yeah, the carbon dioxide is... it's all in here. Yeah, we need to... Okay, the water is gone. Good. Let's also dig out this here, because we see some oxygen here, and this is a nice place also for the carbon dioxide to flow into naturally. See, if they cannot breathe, they will go there at some point and take a breather, and that of course takes time. So we have our first cycle is done. First cycle of the day. We have our toilets, which is very good, because after they've eaten, they will go to the toilet and then they will go to sleep. Let me assign these to be sure. I think they automatically assign them as well. But yeah, let's do this to make sure that they will actually go to sleep there. And then we have the first day done. We have our basic toilets and a bedroom done. We can also see in our overlays, oh, this is not closed yet. Yeah, this is way too big. This is 217 tiles because this is all included, because we didn't do the roof yet. But we will enclose this the next cycle. But here we have a barracks. We only have cots in here and multiple people in a cot. So this is +1 morale. And you will see that here as well. Tomorrow, oh, they have 1 morale now. I guess they lost their... what the hell are they doing? Wait. Ah, they have actually 2 downtimes. Let's make this 1 at the start. Should be enough. Alright. Can also speed up a little bit the night. And now I actually want to move some duplicants. So let's put Max and Rowan here, and then put Bert in this here one. Bert. Should be good. And new duplicants will also always come at the top. Let's also remove the alarms here, because that's just annoying. Alright. Here we go. So we are working down here still. Oh yeah, we don't have a wash basins yet. That's a little bit annoying. A little bit slow, so did they already go to the toilets? No, they didn't. Full bladder. So he's going to the toilet now, but we don't have any water yet, so they cannot wash their hands. That's a little bit annoying. So before we set any other errands, let's make sure that this is done. And then I also want to make sure that these are filled up. And toilets need to be cleaned. So if you look at the duplicants now, we're actually... Oh yeah. Wait, he's washing his hand. I thought we didn't... Oh, we had a little bit of water in here, of course, from what was on the floor. Okay, so that's good. But we need more. So now we have a pitcher pump. So now they can actually get stuff into the wash basins. Also, I want to disable disinfect here because it's going to be dirty all the time. And it actually doesn't matter how dirty it is. So, let's see what do our gases say. Oh, this is still very full of carbon dioxide. It should actually flow out at some point, but it doesn't just yet. It's a little bit annoying. They need to hold their breath on the toilet. Let's dig up here a bit and then go here so we can build our roof as well. Yeah, sand. If you dig up something underneath sand, the sand will actually fall down. That's a trait that sand has. So sometimes it can mean that your duplicant gets stuck. So yeah, you have to take that into account. I have quite a bit of copper ore here, I guess. Okay, these plants all died, as you can see, so we have all kinds of seeds here now, which is fine. In the second day, we want to start making some science. So we're going to build a floor here and dig out this stuff, like this, so that we can set up some science, because we want to be able to build more stuff. We only have a few things, ventilation and refinement, for example, we have nothing. Plumbing, we don't have that much. And over time, we will be able to get more and more and more. You can also see that right now we're sometimes digging up tiles with these cracks in it. And these cracks contain either seeds for plants or sometimes also critters. So if I dig this up, you'll see that something will come out of here. And this is muckroot, and muckroot is food. So that's how we're keeping up our food. We have 24,000 calories here right now, which is enough for quite a while. Wow, already done with everything. B. And then we will start setting up a research station. The thing with the research station is that it requires power. You can see here it has a power input, so it needs to get power from somewhere. And because we don't have anything else yet, we will use a manual generator. Manual generator is basically a hamster wheel which your duplicant gets onto. We will connect those with a wire via this tile. And then, because we don't want this hamster wheel to be used all the time while someone is researching, we want to have a battery that can store some energy. We want to set it here, and then we will connect that as well. How are we on germs? Oh, okay, I guess. So once a duplicant comes from the toilet, this toilet will be full of food poisoning germs, and the duplicant as well, but while washing their hands, they will get rid of the germs. And the germs being on this toilet is totally not an issue. Okay, this duplicant is already filling up this battery, as you can see the charge here. I want to set it that this battery is recharged whenever it reaches 15%. So when this battery reaches 15%, a duplicant will be requested to this wheel. Let's actually set it to 25 to fill up the battery again. Because if you set it to 99%, for example, then whenever there's 1% missing, a duplicant will immediately go here to try and recharge it again. And that's, of course, a waste of walking time. So let's not do that. And now we have our research station. So we can go to the research tree, which is very big, but we're going to go through this very, very fast because we have a genius as a researcher. So first of all, we want to research some food stuff, some planter boxes. We want to have a new ration box somewhere, a compost for our polluted dirt that comes from the toilets. And we want to have this mess table, which is very important. So yeah, this is really, really good to get. So let's do that first. And now that this has power, we also need some dirt here in order to start researching. I don't know why it requires dirt, but it does. And then we can start doing some science stuff. In the meantime, let's also dig up some other stuff here. Let's actually not dig up this mealwood. Mealwood is a very good plant to grow food. They will actually also grow wild, but it's just slower. There's another water pocket here, it seems. Yeah, this is pretty decent here. A lot of metals. So I don't mind that. Let's just keep digging. Let's keep that as is. Actually, I want to put a ladder here and here. And then dig out the rest. So now you can see we have 2 duplicants sleeping from the schedules. They now have their sleep time, and Bird here is going to continue digging a little bit. And that will mean that if these have a different cycle than the other people, we only need 2 toilets at the same time. And that also accounts for different facilities that we'll have. But yeah, we have a second hatch here. As I said, these are not really dangerous. They don't attack or something like that. They will just be walking around, eating stuff on the floor and excreting half of the mass that they ate into coal. Once this is built, I want to dig out these two as well. But yeah, Max here is our researcher, right? He has our 10 science, so he's not going to be digging. We explicitly said to Max in the priorities to not prioritize building and digging, so he's going to do researching. Actually, let's just build this ladder. It's a little bit odd otherwise. Because I want to make my mass tables up here, I guess. Let's see, how's our oxygen doing? We can see we have a lot of carbon dioxide here. I guess this is a little bit stuck, which is fine. And this is becoming more and more breathable. But yeah, we have a lot of carbon dioxide in this base. And not that many oxalite, actually. So it might be that we have to start our oxygen production rather early. Let's make sure that they build the floor here first, so not everything drops into the bedroom. Oh, I see. We have this also. And we can dig out these as well. Always keep an eye on temperatures. They can be rather dangerous if it gets out of hand. And our first research is complete, which means we can build new stuff. This algae terrarium, which changes algae and carbon dioxide into oxygen, but I don't like building that much. We can make a planter box, a new ration box. So we have this one here. We might want to make it so that it lives in a carbon dioxide pocket. And then we have this compost. There's not really a place here that we can make it. What we can do, actually... I want this water to go down. This might be a good spot. As you can see, we're leaving a lot of debris on the floor. And this is not good for our decor. This is very dirty. All the stuff on the floor, so you should clean this up at some point, but right now I don't really care too much about that just yet. Let's see, because this is not going to drain nicely there, so actually let's cancel this, let's cancel that, and let's go down here and dig out some more here. And then we're just going to drop it in here. New printables. So every 3 cycles, we will get a printable available here. And we can have a couple of different things. We have a researcher, which we don't really need. A doctor, which we also don't need at the moment. And we have a suit wearer with a decreased athletics. That's a little bit weird. We have +7, -5. So we don't want this one, we don't want this one. Also cannot dig, which is very annoying. Narcoleptic is annoying, but we don't need a researcher anyway. So we're just going to use the muck root here. We're going to get a lot of extra food, which we can put in here and eat. Of course. The longer we get food from the outside, the longer we don't need to cook stuff or start to farm stuff. As the oxygen situation, this part is very good. The bottom here is still, yeah, there's a lot of carbon dioxide in the starting area. It is what it is. Slowly we will move this down. Yeah, that's it's not good. And that's another research complete. Now we get the electric grill, farm tiles, egg cracker, and mess tables. We want to set up a eating spot. Let's make our dining room here. This is going to be a new room. And here we want to do our eating. So we make 3 dining tables. And then that's a mess hall. Actually, we also want to research the next thing. I want to... are we going to do... We have our... planter box. Oh no, it's decor actually. It's down here. We need this. I need this. I mean, we at some point also need to do advanced research because you see we have these blue items here, which is the simple research. We also have the purple items, which is the advanced research. But for the advanced research, we need to have a better researcher. He needs to get a skill, and getting a skill point can take a while. So right now, let's go back in here. I want to focus on, let's do this one first. Some decor. It's actually a lot of things that I want at the same time. Actually, let's not do that. I think the battery is more important at the moment. The thing with this small battery is that it loses a lot of charge. It's very inefficient because it's a very basic, it doesn't say here exactly. Properties. Yeah, it doesn't really say. Maybe it says somewhere, but I don't know. It's a very low charge. It's only 10 kilojoules. So it's empty very quickly, but it also loses charge. So yeah, we want to replace this battery with a better one. Actually, I want to make sure that this hatch does not eat this copper ore. So let's actually make a storage bin. Let's put it here. Then we're going to store our copper in here. Copper is very valuable because you cannot replenish it. Sandstone, on the other hand, we have, as you can see, 73 tons. We also have 8 tons of copper, and we have actually a lot here, but still, we don't want the hatches to eat copper. And you will find out later on, because we also have to refine the copper into the copper ore into actual copper. So yeah, let's also open these doors. It will still count for a room, but they don't have to wait for the door to open anymore when we do this. And we can see that the bird here is constructing our dining tables. Actually, we also have our new ration box. So let's actually make a carbon dioxide pit. Our storage bin is done, and as I said, I want to put the metal ores in here. Priority 5 is okay. I don't want to do too much storage just yet, because our duplicants are not that strong and quick yet. So storing stuff just makes them walk around a lot. I prefer them building stuff. So we're going to make ration box there. And why am I doing a ration box in a dip here? So we're going to finish this off here as well when they have finished building this. Why I'm doing this is because of how gases work. As you can see, carbon dioxide goes to the bottom. And if you make a pit like this, you can trap carbon dioxide in this pit. And that means that this food will stay fresh. Because carbon dioxide actually is considered a sterile environment. If you have food and oxygen, it will go bad. If you have it in carbon dioxide, it will not go bad. We see we have some new research completed here. So that means we have our big battery, which we're going to make. And now I guess it's time. Yeah, we're not going into here yet. Let's first research this here, decor. And I'm going to explain why this is a really important one. Let's just cancel this. We don't need this. And then we are going to dig out this here. And that's another research completed. So now we have this first decor, which means we can make ceiling lights, we can make lamps and flower pots. Let's take this water cooler next. Yes. And we can put a flower pot here. And I actually want to make a ceiling light here above our research station. And if only I could see what I'm doing here. It's going 3 out. So like this should be fine. And then of course we need power there. And also this battery is now full, so we don't want to remove it just yet. Let's connect the lamp. But I have to take this, I have to make sure to watch this, because we want to swap this out for a big battery. But I don't want to waste our energy. So here we can see our water is now draining down. So we can free up this space for other stuff. And here actually I want to set this a little bit higher. Let's copy the settings of that box into this one. This doesn't have to go in here. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's close off this here. And then we can open up that. Because we need to set this up rather quickly. Because we want to make sure that this has time to fill up. We have a flower pot here. Let's put in a flower as well. Oh, wait. Was it already done? Oh, it's already done. What the heck? That's so fast. So yeah. Next up. Medicine not necessary. We can go into ventilation, but we don't need that yet. We can go into plumbing. That's also a little bit on the early side. Let's take our coal generator here. Because we also have a lot of coal around. We actually have 13, 14 tons of coal. So we could actually use that to generate our power instead of this hamster wheel. We have 3 duplicants and using one to generate power is not really efficient. So now we have this gap here, and slowly you will see that carbon dioxide starts collecting here, and yeah, this will be a sterile environment. Let's also deconstruct this and this. Okay, all the food is in there, nice. And then we make sure that they can also walk across. So we put this here. As you can see, we have a second mineral actually already. We have sedimentary rock. Where did we get that? Is that from here? Or here? Interesting. How's our oxygen doing? We're getting a little bit on the low side. As you can see, it's not as bright anymore. That's because we don't have oxalite anymore. So we should actually set up some oxygen generation. We have wire bridge, a switch, and some more stuff. We have the water cooler, which we're also going to build here. And I will show you why that's so important. But I want to take an eye on, keep an eye on this here. because I want to swap this out for a big battery. Scheduling, okay, already did that. Okay, this is empty enough. Now really quickly, I want to make a new battery. Ah. Why are you on the wheel? Get off there. Disable building, okay. No, 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 no. Waste. So yeah, we want to make a battery. We can see the power connector is actually on a different spot. That's a little bit annoying. Let's take the wire, let's connect it here, and then we can deconstruct this one. Actually, I don't want to make it here. Cancel. Cancel. Because I want to leave room here for a better research station, because then the lamp will cover that as well. So we are going to wire. We need 3 spots for that. So I'm going to set it here. And I will also set up something here. So the battery goes there. This one we need to deconstruct. And then we will start making some oxygen, because we're running a little bit low. And we have quite a bit of algae. Actually 6.3 kilotons, that's not that much. Some more carbon dioxide here. There's a lot of carbon dioxide on this map. It's crazy. There's so much. I guess once we start pressurizing the map, this will be a little bit more compressed. Actually, this is so much. It's crazy. Wow. Okay. Let's see, where can we get more algae? Guess this also frees up some more oxalate here. Always good. As you can see, this is almost drained. We can enable this again. Wow, he's building slow. Yeah, we can enable it again. Anyway, and then we have a big battery. Nice. And this can hold, oh, that's not 20, but actually 40 kilojoules. So this is 4 times as big as the other one. And then we have here our oxygen production system, which needs algae, and then it will convert it into oxygen. And this will typically, one will produce enough oxygen for 5 duplicants. We have 3 right now, so we're okay. Especially since we also have some oxalate still going. Let's see. Let's build another floor here. And dig out some more. Here you can see that we have some granite, and granite has this one diamond icon next to the dig thingy, which means that this is something that requires a digging skill, and we don't have any skills just yet. We're very close. And then once we can get hard digging, we can dig out stuff with 1 diamond. And it goes higher with 2 and 3 diamonds, of course. But yeah, we will not get there too quick. I guess the 2 diamond is abyssalite, which will be somewhere close. Actually, I don't see it yet. But yeah, I'm not gonna put too much time into that just yet. So yeah, now we're producing oxygen here. Max earned a skill point. So that's our researcher, and once we use the skill point, we will actually be able to use the supercomputer. So yeah, that went quick. Duplicant morale. That's fine. What are we researching right now? Oh, we're researching the coal thingy. That's correct. So next up will be this here, so we can build this the supercomputer. Let's make sure that gets planted. Actually, is this already... This is still a mess hole, but once this plant goes in, it's going to be a great hole. And a great hole is +6 morale. So this is +1, this is now +3, and a great hole is +6, which is just crazy, crazy good. So that's definitely something we want to do. So make sure this plant gets planted, so we can get more morale and have more room for skill points. So that is done. Now we're going to this here. Okay, this needs time because I guess when I open this, a lot of carbon dioxide will come down and this will be filled up very quickly. But yeah, do we really want to let loose this additional carbon dioxide in our base? We already have a lot of carbon dioxide. We need to dig a lot more. Rowan earned the skill points. Oh, they both have. So now they both have their first point. And our diggers, we want to give our hard digging skill. So they will be able to dig out this granite, which is very important. So yeah, this will be opened up soon. And then we can see all this carbon dioxide flowing down. Oh, this is first pressurizing. Was this? Oh, this was pressurized. That's why. So it's pushing back this carbon dioxide first. But yeah, it will come down and it will fill this up. And then we can also open up this here, I guess. There's a lot of sand here. So now we also have granite and igneous rock. Not that much, but we do have it. So how are the temperatures now at the edge? Everywhere a little bit warmer, but still we are very, very well in the green. We're almost done with the research. There we go. So now we have supercomputing. So we can make our supercomputer, which means we can build some advanced stuff. What do we want first? I guess accompanied with this coal generator, I want to have the smart battery. But that also means that we need our wires. Let's get this one first. And then we get into the smart stuff. In the meantime, I also want to build the supercomputer. Here, and hook it up to power, of course. And as you can see, we're not really losing food, we're actually gaining food. So actually I can just dig out this stuff. It's not necessary. Oh, and we have a new printing pod. Let's see. Another research, doctoring on farming, decorating, not really necessary just yet. Tidying, suit wearing, narcoleptic. Wow, this one has 3 negative traits, this one has 2. Gastrophobic is not too bad, but increased bladder is not nice. They cannot do it. Digging errands, I don't want that. So let's go for a curative tablet. So this is some medication that you can also make, and it will cure some diseases, germ-based diseases. Okay, so that will probably help against some slime lung infections. Let's set this to 5. Let's set this to 6 actually, and let's put the... Where is it actually? Is it food? It's under food, medicine. Let's put the medicine in here. This is a 6, okay. Oh, actually we have this water cooler now. So this should now be a... It's still a mess hall. Why is it a mess hall? Oh, we still don't have the plant. The heck? But yeah, this water cooler is actually using up water. And you don't really need to have it enabled for it to work. It's a little bit cheaty as well. But yeah, we're going to disable this so that we don't use water here. But yeah, I really want this plant in here. The thing with the coal generator is that it will also generate carbon dioxide, which we already have plenty of. I guess we're moving a little bit more down here now. But yeah, we have to take an eye on that. We have to look out for what we do. Research complete. So we got this. So now we really want to have this smart battery. Yeah. We actually need refined metal for that. Wait a minute. We need this here first. Because, yeah, the smart battery and the automation wire are not made of metal ores, but actually refined metals. So we need to refine that first. And another research is done. Let's see. So now we have this. So yeah, let's just get this out of the way. Our research is really knocking it out of the block. Let's see. We have a rock crusher. And this will be our first method of refining methods. Refining metals, I would say. So let's connect this as well. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Carbon dioxide, we have a little bit of oxygen still here. But yeah, you can see already here, sometimes it's a sterile atmosphere. And that will mean that our food will not go stale. Which is really important. Okay, now we have our rock crusher. What we can do here is change copper ore into copper. We have quite a bit of copper. And we want to make some refined copper. This is not a super efficient method. It turns 100 kilograms of copper ore into 50 kilograms of copper and 50 kilograms of sand. So half of it goes to waste. Later on we will get more efficient methods. You can also see what sand does when you dig it out underneath. It will fall down. This here really has to happen. Cleanest toilets. Because if both toilets are full, then they will not be able to go to the bathroom. That's no good. So yeah, this guy will do this now, I guess. And he's going to clean up. And you can see what they're doing to create refined metals. So we have now refined metals, 50 kilograms. I think it's time now to start thinking about making a coal generator. So I'm going to dig out a little bit more here, which our diggers will love. And then we're going to make a coal generator here. It's going to make some heat. And also, as I said, carbon dioxide. So we're going to make it a little bit out of the way so that we don't end up heating up the core of our base. This is also generating heat, by the way, but it's not on constantly. And then we can start setting up power here. So we're going to make a coal generator here. Yeah, let's put it let's put it here. We don't have the smart battery just yet. What we're also going to do is set up a storage bin here, and we're going to store our coal in here, so that's always close to the coal generator. I guess this is now all filled up. Yep. So this is now a sterile atmosphere. Microbe destroying conditions have decreased this food's decay rate. So yeah, this is going to stay okay. And it seems that we have a new printable. Some coal, 3 tons of coal. We have decorating, doctoring. Don't need this yet. Farming, this is a good farmer. Gonna do researching. This is actually not a bad one. Dedicated farmer. But we don't need farming just yet. That's the thing. Digging, operating, and supplying. But it's a narcoleptic. Huh. Supplier will be nice, but yeah. Narcoleptic is really annoying. Because they just fall asleep randomly. Let's just go for the coal here. I'm very careful when picking duplicants, actually. Why the heck? Oh, these duplicants are waking up. So if they get light here, they actually wake up from this here, and they are not rested enough. And then they fall asleep on the floor, which is not good. We'll have a debuff here. So yeah, this wild critter sadly has to go. Did they not? Holy moly. Let's speed this a little bit up. We have our research done. That means we have our smart battery, which is nice. What else can we get now? I guess we can start going into real toilets. Yeah, let's go into that. Want to have this? Yeah, definitely. Food is still doing good. We need to be digging right now. But yeah, I want to remove the workload of this generator, because we're using a lot more power now. So this generator is draining a lot more fast, because this is draining battery, this is draining battery. I want them to use coal now to actually keep up with the power demand, and that we don't have to run in this thing all the time. Oh wow, he's exhausted. Yeah, he's also unrested because of this thing. Can we please kill this? Oh my god. Priorities. Here. Kill it. Okay. I guess what I can do, because we don't toggle a lot anyway, I'm just going to set this to very high. Life support. Maintain, deodorizes, water saves. I guess. No, I don't want this to be high for everyone. No. But I want them to do this a little bit also. Let's make it like that. High. Okay. Oh. Let's go. So we have a coal generator here. I don't want to supply just yet. So let's not do that, because we want to set up this smart battery first. And an automation wire to there. Bam. Okay. And also we want to build a normal wire all the way over. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like this then. Okay, this is finally toggled. We have some more research completed. Oh yeah, that's this one. Okay. Wow, we have so much carbon dioxide, it's crazy. But it's not pressurized. Yeah, we really need to keep this running. Can we please put some algae in there? Smart battery is up. So this smart battery makes sure that something connected to it does not run whenever it's past a certain threshold. Let's set this to 95 and the load threshold I'm going to make 40. So this will make sure that this coal generator keeps it below 95 and 30. So if this battery is below 95%, if it's below 40%, then the coal generator will turn on. And if it reaches 95%, the coal generator turns off until it reaches 40% again. But yeah, guys, you really need to keep this oxygen diffuser filled up. Oh, we can also dig up this. And that's another research done. Oh, that's our toilets. We want to continue. We're going to do a lot of research here. I want to make the water sieve here. Because our sink and toilet are going to make dirty water, polluted water, we want to have a way to clean that as well. So we can reuse it. Copper, yeah, we're making the wires. Nice, and then we can turn this thing on. Just put it at 6. So this is already connected to the wheel here, so we have double batteries right now. But yeah, no power wire connected. Wait. Did we not connect the wire to here? Whoops, that's not good. So please fill up this thing. Let's put this to 6 again. And I want them to resupply the coal generator when it's below 25% full. Wow, these guys are supplying like maniacs. That's another research. Super fast now. Okay, we're actually in cycle 11 now. I want to stop it here, and next time we're going to go further with improving our base so that it becomes the best base out there. We're going to have a lot of digging to do. I also need to hire some more duplicants, print some more duplicants. We have actually some more water up here. Interesting. And the next time we're going to make some toilets, I guess, so we can generate water from that. I guess we also can start ranching some hatches. We probably are going to do that here because we have it nice and close to the coal generator. And what else? We will see you next time. So thank you for stopping by. If you came this far, thanks a lot. Leave a like if you liked the video and let me know what you want to see next time.